Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Staten Island High School Basketball League Tournament. Can you believe it? I absolutely cannot. We are 100% back in effect for the first time in 3 years. And joining me in the broadcast booth, Danny Chanod from Nobody Cares Sports, is working today with color commentary from my friends Doug Elwell and, of course, Danny Lee. Gentlemen, how are you today?
Doing good, Dan. Doing very good, Dan.
Yeah, it's all right. I know. So there's a lot of pandemonium right now in the gym, and Danny, your mic is on too, I do believe, right? You should be ready to rock.
All right, good to go, Dan. Ready to rock and roll.
So what we're working with here today is, we're sitting right next to the DJ speakers. So we're, shout out to the DJ blaring music in our ear. We want to give a big shout out to everybody at home. Have a look right now inside of our broadcast booth. I'm Danny Chanod. I'll be providing the play-by-play this afternoon for this game that starts us off. It's the Moore Mavericks against the Wagner Falcons. The Falcons are the 1 seed for the public schools. The Mavs come in, the underdog, sitting at the 4th seed in the Catholic School Conference. I'm going to start with you, Danny, with the public. What do you see from Wagner today that they got to get the job done?
Well, Susan Wagner's been on a really good 2-year run. Last year they went undefeated. They won the borough championship for the public schools. This year they went 15-1. They lost last week to Curtis, was their only blemish. Guard-oriented team, Xavier Barrow, Isaiah Abreu. They shoot the ball really well. They want to pressure and they want to run in transition. Very good team coached by Coach Kasha.
I like what I hear from you. Listen, we're going to go with starting lineups, Doug, and when we come back from starting lineups, I'm going to get keys to the game for the Moore Mavs.
Sounds good, Dan.
All right, fellas, that wraps it up for our starting lineups. I imagine you're going to have a national anthem. Doug, let me get some keys to the game for the Mavs to take down Wagner.
So the number one key that me and unfortunately Coach Danny Lee know about the most is that you can never take Coach Burns out of an equation in any game that he plays in. Coaches in, excuse me. So that's one of the keys is Coach Burns, one of the best coaches in our area, citywide, Catholic League, public league. So he'll have these guys really well prepared for this game. But some of the guys that are big-time players for them, Cosmo Cangiano, big-time player. I think he's like averaging close to 20 points a game. Abu Vakai as well, averaging close to 17, 18 points. And Matty Camerlingo had a really good game against who they played in the
Port
first
Richmond.
round? Port Richmond in the first round. He had 24 points in the first game. So those three guys, they're kind of like three-headed monster. But again, Coach Burns, he's the guy that can put them all together today. So we'll see what happens.
I tell you what, man, these guys know their stuff. My color commentary team today, Danny Lee, Doug Elwell. I'm Danny Chanod doing the play-by-play. This is Nobody Cares Sports, no religion, no politics, just feel-good sports vibes. Ladies and gentlemen, After 3 long years, the Staten Island High School League Tournament is back. Wagner, Moore, here we go, tip-off. Tension's palpable, boys. It's off. Moore controls the tip.
Wagner coming out man-to-man.
Seeing the guards with good give-and-go passing here. Pressure here from Wagner with the tip ball. Moore able to maintain control. Good pass into the paint. Too strong off the fingertips of the cutting man. Ryan Orozos can't handle the pass.
Coach Burns' teams are very, very deliberate at what they're going to do. They're going to take their time. They're going to be patient, and they're going to make sure they get good shots. That was a little bit of a turnover, but some nerves here to start the game.
Yeah, they're going to cut the, well coached as Coach Doug is saying here. Moore coming out man-to-man as well.
Here's a shot from the foul line for Wagner off the mark. Second chance opportunity right there, and they get the bucket. 2-zip Wagner to start.
Looks like a 2-2-1 they went into after the mate. Palmalingo broke it pretty easily.
Moore, the clear underdog in this game. We'll see how they respond to start. A steal for the Falcons, coast to coast. And laying it in, that's the star senior Xavier Barrow getting money in the paint.
And that leaves him 6 away from 1,000. He came into the game needing 8 points. Timeout quick. Coach Burns, 6-0 run by Wagner. That's what they do. If they're going to turn you over, they're going to try to get out in transition.
Coach Burns right now is probably telling them, listen, take your time, relax. We've been here before. Not this big of a game, obviously, but everything that we have going on here, we got to just take our time, relax, calm down, get those jitters out early, because this could get ugly real fast if they don't calm down a little bit.
Yeah, Wagner's playing the passing lanes, Coach. Obviously 2-2-1 they went into on every make. It looked like the Moore guys kind of ran up the floor, left Palmalingo alone. You got to get somebody to the middle, somebody up the sideline that you could break it.
And I'm sure Coach Kosh is saying the same thing to his team right now in the huddle, making sure they're making adjustments as well. These two guys have been around forever coaching. The adjustments that today they're going to be going on are going to be out of control. So, good stuff.
Wagner drops back into the man-to-man after the 2-2-1.
Another good set play by Coach Burns. Abu's got to look to attack here.
Way to keep it going with technical difficulties, boys. A deep three from Moore answers the bell.
That's what they do, Dan. They got to make threes today if they're going to win. If they're going to upset Wagner, they got to make threes.
It looks like Moore's coming back in the same kind of press that Wagner's coming back into. So this should be a good game, a little chess match today.
And just like that, back-to-back balls from downtown. Wagner with the tip on the inbound. It's going to stay Maverick basketball.
If you're Coach Kosh, you got to be so happy with the start. Campos saw 3 go through the rim. They got in transition. That's what Wagner does. When they're at their best, they're making threes and they're getting out in the open floor.
Wagner coming out in a full court press, putting good pressure here, trying to see if the Mavs can break it. They bring it across the timeline. Pass intercepted in the paint by the Falcons. Outlet pass the other way on the other end. Extra pass. The foul. The basket will not count, but we'll have our first opportunity of the game from the charity stripe. This number 21 from the Falcons, Mekhi Jackson, going to the line. Junior's shooting 2.
And give him credit, big man running the floor. And that's what, most coaches teach. If you're a big man, you could outrun the guy down the floor. You'll get the ball down on the block, and that's what Jackson did there.
First one is up and true blue for the Falcons. They've got a 10-3 lead, 5:43 to go here in the first quarter.
We've got a long game left. A lot of game left here.
Yeah, I think the Mavs just got to settle down. Too many turnovers quick here.
Good pass up court. And the pressure just too much here for the Mavericks as the Falcons come out the other way again, laying it off the glass and in. It is up to a 10-point lead. These Falcons are everything we look for a 1 seed to be. The Mavs just doing everything they can to kind of find some rhythm and weather this storm.
I think one of the things that's big between the Catholic League and the Public League, which we see across the city, Public league is a little more helter-skelter. More needs to calm down. If they calm down a little bit, they're going to be fine. They have really good players on their team. It just seems like a little bit out of sorts right now.
I agree, Doug. I think with the Publics, you're going to see a lot more press, like Wagner's showing. They're getting deflections. They're getting hands on every pass in the passing lane. You know, the Catholic schools play great defense, but a lot of it is in half-court sets. So, yeah, we'll see if more could creep back in the game. They just got to get some good possessions.
Absolutely. This is Barrow with it now. The pass to big man in the paint. Beautiful spin move. Can't get the job done. Second chance opportunity goes. Mekhi Jackson. His number is going to get called all afternoon with that kind of enthusiasm. Here's a 2. A long one from the corner won't go. Long cross outlet pass for the Falcons. Up and in.
And they're just releasing guards on every rebound. Campos, or a great pass there by Barrow. Looking up ahead, that's what they do. They want to make the game as fast as possible. 32 minutes of hell.
Carmelango, the point guard, the floor general, tries to slow it down here. The give is to number 4, who creates good separation in the paint. Cosmo Cangiano with the bucket.
That's what they need here. They need Cosmo to step up here, be the senior leader that he is, and everyone else will kind of fall in line.
Yep, your stars got to be stars in big game. Hopefully that gets them going.
Yo, Cosmo is the best name in the tournament so far.
All tournament name team.
The floater too strong for the Falcons. Second chance opportunities again. These are crushing the Mavericks.
Yeah, Jackson's so active on the backboards. 3 or 4 offensive rebounds already.
Stop pop from the free throw line. Too strong. Little unfriendly rim here in Petrides. Good defense getting back for the Mavs.
Wagner's doing a really good job of pushing the tempo. As soon as the rebound's up or a turnover's going on or a made pass is up, they're looking to push.
Well, it's only the first quarter, and it's quickly getting out of hand early here. We talked about what the Mavs needed to do to kind of be in this game. Are you still sticking with that same mentality, Doug?
Yeah, I mean, I think that what's getting them a little rattled here is I wouldn't even call it Wagner's pressure. I think it's just that they're not used to seeing this kind of length and aggression on defense in terms of a press. So I think that once they settle down here, now without Carmelango in the game,
Yeah,
it's
2
going to be
fouls.
tough. This is going to be tough for them to come back from this because Matty's their guy. But I think Cosmo and Abu have to step up here. I mean, I've heard a lot about them this season. Cosmo I've known for a little while here, but they don't look like they're in the game right now.
And there's another timeout by Coach Burns as Wagner gets another turnover and Barrow lays it in. He's a bucket away from 1,000. That leaves him with 7 points right now on the game.
Yeah, we talked about how the Wagner Falcons are a 1 seed in this tournament, and they're showing it early. 3 minutes to go here, just over 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter, and they've got a commanding lead. Back with more playoff basketball in just a second. Danny Chanod, Doug Elwell, and Danny Lee on the call. Nobody cares. Back to the action on the court. The Mavericks get it in quickly, looking to catch the Falcons sleeping, but they get back on defense.
Nice play out of the press break by Coach Burns. They got the layup, just didn't make it. And give up a layup on the other end. Lewison goes 94 feet, can't happen. Good move by Lewison.
25-5 is our score. The Mavericks can't seem to settle themselves down here. Wagner looks like this tournament never took a break.
You know, I think Wagner, obviously with the last 2 years, no Staten Island High School League tournament. They won the Borough Championship last year over Curtis in a 1-point game. Their kids are, you know, they want to show everybody how good they are because they haven't had a chance to play in the Staten Island High School League tournament, and they've been a very, very good team over the last 3 to 4 years.
Especially because, you know, in Staten Island, we're known for playing these Catholic public games every year, and Wagner hasn't played these Catholic schools in 2 years.
Very nice pass by Boo and a cut by Cosmo.
Coming back down the other way, the Falcons have it. 25-7, more trying to build on a little bit of momentum here late in the first quarter.
And he went back to Carmelango. I think it's a good move, Coach. What do you think?
Absolutely, 100%. You gotta. There's no more tomorrow. So this is it.
Campos has it in the corner. The feed to big man, takes his shot, goes wide right. But Barrows there to clean it up, and he gets the easy bucket. Nobody there to defend on the second chance.
And there for the young man, there's his 1,000th point in his career. Started his career at Wagner, transferred to St. Joseph by the Sea for a year during the COVID year, came back to Susan Wagner as a junior. 3-year varsity player.
It looks like we've got a celebration for a 1,000 point just made on the court for Xavier Barrows. So taking a moment here to give congratulations to the young man. No easy feat, gentlemen.
Great accomplishment. Great accomplishment. You know, a lot of hard work and dedication goes into getting something like 1,000 points, especially if people aren't watching, don't understand or know, but it's only your varsity points. So, you know, to be able to play on a varsity for, you know, that many years or have that much success at the same time, you know, it's a big accomplishment. Congratulations to Xavier and his family.
He's not the only 1,000-point scorer in the building tonight, Coach, right?
Oh, there's a lot in here.
There's a lot.
I'm looking
sitting
around.
next to one right now.
I'm looking at a lot. There's a lot of people out here.
Yeah.
You know, but it's a good thing. It's a nice thing that we do in Staten Island. That you know, we show love to the kids that work hard, and you know, something he'll remember for the rest of his life. I didn't get a cool ball like that though. I need to call up Farrell and see what's going on with the ball.
Everything's better when you leave. Don't you know that?
That's the truth.
I have one of the craziest 1,000-point stories of all time, probably, though. I scored my 1,000-point in the Staten Island High School League tournament like Xavier just did, but in a consolation game, when they used to have consolation games.
Yeah.
And I played at Curtis against Peters.
Wow. At Curtis against Peters, Farrell versus Peters.
Yeah. That's a lot of,
That's probably the only time in the history of
it's like a
Staten Island
Twilight
basketball.
Zone episode.
Yeah. The old Curtis gym.
The jungle, as they called it.
Yeah, for sure.
That place, they should host.
Oh, beautiful crossover.
They should host this Staten Island League tournament. That would have been awesome.
Oh, here we go. First, second chance opportunity for the Mavericks in this game. Maybe a little momentum coming off that celebration of Xavier Barrows' 1,000 point.
I think this is the guy, Abu, who's really got to get going,
Yeah,
Coach, if they're going to get back into the game.
He looks a little, I wouldn't say timid, but he looks a little like he's deferring a little bit right now. I don't like that. I want to see him attack.
Nice
Great
pass.
Great pass. And Coach Lee said it before about Biggs running. What's his name?
Dean Petrides.
Yeah, Petrides. He ran well, and Xavier found him.
Now they're just...
Good ball handle.
Yeah, they're just... Jackson's good job by a big man to secure the basketball, grab it with two hands, kick it ahead to a guard.
That's 31-7 right now. If you're more, you got to be thinking this game's far from over. Let's start firing threes from downtown.
There you go.
Well, if they got to get back in it, I thought they had to make threes to upset them. They got to make threes to get back in the game.
Yeah, I know you think we're crazy, Dan, but it's not over yet.
It's not over.
It's
That's
not
why
over
I'm
yet.
still so fired up over here. You guys are doing a tremendous job. We want to give a big shout out to Mike Cugno from Gotham Trinity Productions working the camera for us today. We may be working through technical difficulties, but man, I'll tell you, this is our first time doing it. So shout out to everybody out there. We thank your patience is going to the line here. Big man Mekhi Jackson misses the first of two.
Entering the game for more, number 15, Christian Trombone, a junior. Looks like Coach Burns is trying to get a couple guys a quick rest in the last 38 seconds before the second quarter.
Wagner staying in this press. No rest for the weary here as the Mavs bring it across the timeline finally.
This press is not coming off.
Beautiful pass into the baseline, counted, and the foul.
I think before we were saying about Moore, you know, I think they came in the game a little timid. I think that they need to start attacking instead of letting Wagner dictate the tempo of the game. You know, push it up a little bit, look to score. They were just kind of being a little comfortable just being up and down the floor with them.
And with the firepower of Abu, Cangiano, and Carmelingo, they can get back into the game.
100%.
They actually started the playing game up 34-14 on Port Richmond. Port Richmond got back into the game. So, Dan, in high school basketball, is, you know, both these guys sitting here know, game is never over.
A lot of knowledge and game seen between you two alone, so I'm going to believe you. As we have 14 minutes, 14 seconds to go in the quarter.
Moore does not wish there's 14 minutes left in this quarter.
Absolutely
they
not.
Need to get out of this
Three
quarter.
from downtown, connected from Campos. An exclamation point put on the end of this first quarter. The Falcons shot out of a cannon with a 35-13 lead. Boys, one quarter of play down. Tell me what your thoughts are.
Well, if you're Coach Kasha, 11 o'clock in the morning start, you're the number 1 seed. A lot of people saying a Moore team that can shoot the ball is very athletic. You couldn't ask for a better start. Yeah. You want your guys out running. They looked great. They were in transition. They made threes. Campos has already made 2. Xavier got his 1,000th point out of the way. I mean, you can't ask for a better quarter. You're up 22 points at the end of the first quarter, Coach.
I definitely agree with Danny. One of the things as the number 1 seed is, you want to show everyone why you're the number 1 seed. And, I was the number 1 seed once in my high school career, and I didn't like it because I felt like you were in the not a spotlight, but you were in a low light because you're the first game of the day. So everyone's walking to the gym right now, and they're trying to see what the score is and what's going on. So I think some people walking in this gym right now, I don't think anyone is fearing either team when they walk in the gym, but I know Peter's in the gym right now. They had a couple of close games or more. C had some close games. Farrell had some close games or more. So when you walk in the gym and it's a 22-point game into the first quarter with 35 points on his board for Wagner, you're probably shaking your head like, oh boy, all right, we got to watch these guys play a little bit.
It ain't over yet, though.
Oh, absolutely not.
That's all we're saying. Listen, so if you're out there, stay tuned.
If there's one guy I'm not betting against,
it's Coach Burns.
100%. Dan, you have no idea that man is a sucker for games like this. He would rather have a game like this where he can get into guys and make sure that guys are playing as hard as they can every possession. So.
We should put a mic in their locker room, Dan, for the halftime speech. Regardless
that sounds
of what the
exciting and illegal at the same time.
No, this broadcast would go from nobody cares to everyone cares because that would be must-see TV.
Now back to the action on the court. Speaking of must-see TV, the Falcons trying to do what they did in the first, and that's dominate. Good block here in the paint. Cosmo Cangiano making his presence known.
Good start there by the Mavericks on defense. Curtis, it looked like they were going into red, but they're still back in the 2-2-1.
Mavericks trying to break this press. It's been there all game. The Wagner Falcons just relentless. Hop step taken away. Jackson says, not up in here. Quickly out the other way. Ball poked away by a Maverick. They've got numbers. Wagner gets back. Counted in the foul.
Good job.
So he's their go-to scorer, 20 a game, as Coach Elwell said. So he's got to get going. If they're going to get back in the game, transition plays like that and ones getting to the rim.
Cosmo's got to turn it up.
Yeah, definitely. Especially with Carmelingo out of the game, too, right now.
And then Coach Lee made a good point. Wagner changed it up a little bit on that press there. Instead of going with that 1-2-2 red press that entire country runs, they went a little bit of 2-2-1 instead, so gave Moore a little bit of a chance to get the ball up a little further up the court, up the sideline.
Well, the conventional three-point opportunity does not go as he misses the free throw. Wagner the other way. Barrow with it now. Working baseline, lays it off the glass with a full head of steam. Beautiful move.
Nice quick blow-by move by Barrow. Number 33 for Moore, David Hill, who's entered the game, got a couple steals early. He's played pretty well defensively.
This number 10, Vakai with it. Kicks a corner pass, baseline.
Good idea.
Off the center's fingertips in the paint. Falcons out the other way.
There you go.
Good defense here by the Mavs, but tenaciously the Falcons just won't stop attacking the basket. Look at this pressure on defense, fellas. They just won't let up out of the press.
This is a little bit of Wagner's pressure, but also a little bit of Moore right now. I think it's a combination.
Bringing it across the timeline safely. Mavs finally have it, and an opportunity gain this time. No foul called on a possible charge. I think it's a good call by the referee.
Nice move by Ryan Orozo, number 21 for Moore. Nice little Euro step into the paint to avoid the contact.
Good pass into the paint. Jackson is going to be fouled.
It's pretty interesting because we didn't think about this. I didn't think about this. I don't know if Coach Lee did, but some of these guys as seniors never played in a tournament before.
Yeah.
So that's another interesting thing that.
The storyline here is that even if they are seniors, right, it's quite possible that last time there was a tournament, there were freshmen in high school.
Yeah, February 2020.
Because I'm looking at Moore's roster right now. We're naming some of the guys, and this is the first time they're playing in a tournament. So, as a senior being your first time playing in a tournament, this is a lot. It's a lot to do.
Beautiful extra pass to the cutting man. Jackson finds pay dirt yet again. 43-17, big lead.
Coach Burns went back to his point guard, even with the 2 fouls. Smart move.
After, yep.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's the kid's first tournament. He ain't never been here before. Foul trouble be damned. Put him out there and let him ball.
Yeah, they're just not going to have a chance without him on the court. He needs to be out there. Especially having 24 against Port the other day. He's expecting a big game out of him, and probably Coach Kasha definitely knows that as well.
Nice spin move, but lost his footing on the court.
The pass.
Shot from the corner won't go. Rebound this time from Lewison.
You see how many Falcons release on every rebound.
Yeah.
They trust Jackson. They trust Petrides to get the rebounds, and the guards go.
Barrow now taking his time, kicks it right side. Lewison with it. Give and go action here. Loses the ball momentarily in the paint. Now the Mavericks come up with it, looking to push. Extra pass beautifully across court. Count it and one.
Very nice job.
Very good job in transition by Moore. Cugno at the other end. That's the third layup. He's finished at the rim, his second N1 opportunity.
Gentlemen, you talk about X's and O's when you draw up a fast break. That was perfect.
And that's why they're playing for that man over there, Coach Burns. I'm sure that's been every day of practice from their freshman year until now. They're telling him exactly what to do and what not to do. And angles in the game of basketball is the biggest thing. And Cugno had a great angle there. Petrides tried to take it away, the angle, and he went right into his body. And that's a great play for young guys to watch, too, to get to that rim.
Nice. Got it down here to a 23-point game. The three-point play is complete. As Lewison with it. And
Lewison, Zero, the point guard for Falcons. They won the city championship last year in JV. He made a lot of big shots in that playoff run, Dan. So he's been huge for them as a sophomore starting on varsity.
Oh, and a foul's going to be called here against Jackson, and he can't believe it. Mackay went to go into a post spin move, and as he turned his back to the basket, the foul was committed.
I'm not in love with the energy that Vakai's giving us right now on the offensive end. I feel like he's kind of just out there. I want to see a little bit more from him. Heard a lot of great things about him. Haven't seen him live before. And that's what I want to see right there.
He answered the bell. You know what I'm talking about? This happens all the time.
Thank you very much, sir.
You asked Coach LL, and Boo delivers.
That's what I need.
You shall receive. 43-22. Barrow with it now, approaching the 4-minute mark here in the first half.
I've heard a lot of great things about him, and I've seen a lot this year from whether it's the advanced coverage or Instagram, and he's doing really well this year.
Well, he had 24 rebounds the other night for Sport Richmond.
Shot from the right wing, good. Beautiful lay up and in. Mavs starting to find a little bit of juice now in the second quarter.
Hey, listen, nice little run here. Cugno's gotten to the rim 4 times for layups. There's nothing better than seeing the ball go through the rim, especially when you're a scorer. So he has 9 points already to get started for more.
And also I love that now all of a sudden the tables have turned, but I can see during that timeout, Wagner guys are trying to argue a little bit. Their heads are getting a little down right now, even though they're up by 20. Moore's energy went up a little bit. Their heads are up now. They're high-fiving each other. So, again, Dan, it's not over.
Hey, the bigger thing that's going to happen is this tournament goes on. Throughout the day, the gym's just going to get more and more filled. So if the Mavs can keep it a game, there will be more pressure on the Falcons to close this game out. Shout out to everybody out there that's tuned in. Nobody Cares Sports on the call. Danny Chanod, along with Doug Elwell and Danny Lee.
And Moore's in that 1-2-2, back into that 1-2-2 press, looking to trap the guards a little bit, make them work. And Wagner went back to their starting 5 but took Jackson out.
Working around a high screen is the point guard. Pass into the paint, triple team there by the Mavs. Falcons results a perimeter passing. Barrow tries to get a runner in the lane, won't go. Second chance opportunity, yes. And Barrow is there to be the recipient.
The offensive glass has been a huge plus for Wagner so far through the first half, Coach. Jackson, Petrides, they're getting every offensive rebound. Moore's got a rebound. If they can't rebound, they're not going to be able to get back into the game.
And Coach Lee made a good point before the game and said that Wagner's very guard-oriented, which they are. And I think Moore's doing a pretty decent job of stopping them in the half court. But once you stop them in the half court, now you secure the rebound.
And a jump ball called here, as this is number 5, Jack Loughran. Tried to gain access to the paint. When he jumped, there was 2 Falcons to fly with him.
Good job by Susan Wagner's 2 bigs. Staying vertical, not coming down with their hands. And it was a good drive by the Moore player. If he had the kick, he had a boo on the side if he kicked it out.
Barrow with it now, working in a one-on-one situation, finds his way in the lane, won't go. Mavericks come up with the board. Ryan Rose with it. Oh, beautiful crossover, stops, pop, thought about it. Now passing it around the perimeter we go. Big man, top of the key, pass into the paint. And just 3 defenders there. We're going to have a jump ball situation.
Coach, I don't know what the scouting report is on Abu. This is the first time I'm watching him play live. But they're playing off him, almost tempting him to shoot the jump shot.
Yeah, I just noticed that too. They're playing him to drive rather than to shoot. And, and he looks like, again, it looks like he's giving into them a little bit and not really playing with pressure. The one drive he made, though, he was, I thought it was a great move, great play, and a technical foul here.
No, this is just a foul on the court.
Ryan.
Well, they got lucky there because Petrides slammed the ball to the floor. But I don't know if Brian, our refs today, Brian Namorato, Aaron Goldstein, and Steve Borgiani, 3 very good refs in our league. But nobody saw the slamming of the basketball.
Shout out to Steve Borgiani, just got recognized a couple weeks ago for his 2003 championship at New York High School. 20-year reunion. Long time ago.
They won that one over St. Peter's in the finals.
They got us in the semis.
So, they got it to 22. If they could get it down to about 17, 18, that would be huge. And right away they give a bucket up. But Lewis, a nice little pull-up.
They can't trade buckets with them. They got to get stops. One at a time. String them together. But right now we're just watching back and forth right now.
Good long jumper, won't go. Beautiful tip on the rebound, goes.
Cangiano's got really nice spring.
Yeah. Cosmo getting busy.
There we go.
Now the tip ball is steal, 2-on-1 for the Mavs. Wow. Up and in, count it, and the foul. Barrow can't believe the call.
Great call by Goldstein there. Nice job. Barrow was a little late and a little bit under the basket while he went to take that one. A little bit out further, he would have had it, but little under him.
Yeah, Coach Kosh is not happy with the sloppiness the last couple of possessions. He's right. You do not want to turn the ball over with a big lead. That's one of the only ways to let a team back in the game.
It is now down to a 19-point lead. Believe it or not, that's the closest we've had it in a long time. Tip ball goes out of bounds. Mavs trying to build on some momentum here.
Sometimes you need to see the ball go in a couple of times, get a little confidence in yourself. Now all of a sudden, Wagner looks like, not running around careless, but they look like they're pressing him a little bit.
Oh, beautiful no-look pass in the paint. Turns out to be a foul. Going to the line here is Marco Kruppi.
So, Moore's in a tough situation here, Coach. To get back in the game, they have to pressure. Wagner's guards handle pressure very well. But, if Wagner's going to be, if Moore's going to be able to get back into the game, they're going to have to try to get a couple steals. Yeah. So they're actually speeding up a team that wants to be sped up.
Yeah. It's interesting. Because I think that last possession here, not this one, the one before, but Petrides had the ball in the middle and was uncomfortable having the ball there. That's why they turned it over. So if they can get those guys to have to make decisions instead of the guards, that might help them a little bit.
Oh, what a beautiful trailing rebound on a second chance opportunity that time. Foul shots came up empty, but Falcons capitalize on the second chance. Good cross-court pass here. Mavs working it around the perimeter. Point guard works himself into a double. The kick to a 3 is off the back rim. No.
Now that confuses me because if he can shoot that,
it looks like a good shot.
Very good shot. There should be a lot more shots being taken by him. They're playing off him a lot.
Nice skip pass to a 3. Great pass by Barrow on the skip to Petrides in the corner.
Petrides hitting those things there, and they're in trouble. Oh, yeah.
Man. 5 guys on the floor that are all shoot the 3. It's very tough to defend. And guys that are unselfish and will make that pass. Barrow made that 45-foot skip pass right into the corner.
This gym slowly starting to fill up. 49.3 seconds remaining here in Moore versus Wagner's first half of play from Petrides High School. Stop pop from the foul line. Doesn't go. The tip out to nobody home. It'll be Maverick ball.
And they're half away to 100. Susan Wagner with 54 with 38.3 seconds to go here in the half. Barrow's going to get a little break here before the half. Devin Matos, another guard, junior guard. Number 3 enters the game.
Bringing it across the timeline now. Wagner not pressing. Cosmo with it.
Wagner's trusting their half-court defense to kind of settle more down a little bit.
Zay, the kick pass outside. A 3 from downtown is cash.
And more back into the pressure.
Yep, Orzo's hit a couple of threes here this half and got a basket a couple of times. So if he can get hot here and give him a little energy going into the half,
I feel like his name might be Arose. Either way, I'm getting a hate mail, and I got to send his family a fruit basket.
Pretty sure it's Orzo's.
I think it's Orzos.
You think it's Orzo's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's had some siblings.
Damn the man that made this roster.
He's had some siblings that played before.
Oh, a heavy foul in the paint from big man checking into the game. That's Lucas Rodriguez, the senior.
So after they had a little trouble inbounding into pressure, Coach Kasha went right back to Barrow. He was going to give Barrow the last 38 seconds to rest of the half. Once they Moore hit a 3 and Wagner almost turned the ball over, he went right back in, caught the ball, got a layup on the other end here for Lewison.
It's like, I hope you're rested after that 38 seconds.
You got about 25 seconds of rest.
And Coach Kosh has been doing this for a very, very long time, and he knows how important each possession is, every one of these games, so he's not taking any chances today.
Coach, he said he didn't want us to reveal how many years he's been coaching before the game.
I can't count that high. Nah, he's the best.
I sweat thinking about math. Shell Lewison makes the free throw. It's a 55-33 lead. 4 seconds to go in the first half. Mavs trying desperately. A shot from the corner. Won't go.
Another good look for Orzos.
Great look, great possession there, Carmelinga, to getting that shot at the end.
Well, gentlemen, after one full half of play, tell me what you make. We're back here at the Staten Island High School League Tournament, Petrides Complex. How's it feel to be back?
Dan?
Well, it's great. I mean, just for the Staten Island community, I want to shout out to the new president, Coach Charlie Donahue, the head coach of McKee Staten Island Tech, who took over in September when Coach Kasha, who did it for a long time, stepped away. You got Coach Kasha as the president. You got Coach Mike Dunn and Monsignor Farrell as the vice president. I'm the treasurer. It's great for the Staten Island community. It's the biggest event of the year. The crowd should be packed all day today, all day on Wednesday in the semifinals, and then next Friday night for the final of the JV at 6 and the varsity at 8. In terms of this game, I'll just say Wagner did what Wagner does. They get out in transition, they make shots. If they're going to do that, regardless if they play Moore, St. Peter's, Farrell, C, Curtis, doesn't matter. If they're going to score 55 points and a half, it's going to be hard for anybody to beat them if they play like the way they did in the first half.
Yeah. And me and Danny were talking before we got on the call here. This is one of the biggest events in Staten Island, in any capacity, obviously in sports, 100%. I've been at this event since I think 5th grade, every year. My CYO coach, Kevin Conroy, we were at St. Clair's as like a thing to wrap up the season. He used to bring us to the semifinals and the finals, the whole team together. When it was at Farrell, we used to watch from the balcony. Thought we were like the coolest thing in the world from being on the top and watching. I was watching '99, 2000. Andrew Wisniewski and Nigel Wyatt and John Baiano when he was a sophomore coming up. So there was a lot of guys that we watched over the years, and I was obviously blessed enough to play in this, win it as a player, win it as a coach as well in the JV level. And then when I was in college, I stayed around and I was here at Wagner College, so I was able to come back and watch it too. So and my teammates, they're from different states, different cities. I told them, you want to come watch the Staten Island League playoffs? I mean, they're like, okay, fine.
Okay.
We'd show up in a place like this, or back in the day, it was, at CSI, Wagner College. We'd show up, and my teammates would be like, what is this? Like, what's going on
What's happening here? Why does nobody know about this?
What's happening, Because in other venues and other places, high school basketball may be important, but it's not as big as it is here. Like, I'm right now, obviously people can see that watching. I'm coaching at Poly Prep right now in Brooklyn, and it's a great environment, it's a great place, but fan-wise and school support-wise, in terms of students and fans, it's not anything like Staten Island at all.
There's no place like this Lost Borough, huh?
And that's okay, and it's a thing, and the guys on my team, they don't understand what goes on here because they're not from here. So it's a big difference when you're here, you're raised here, you've grown up through the system, you know what's going on. So it's just a great event to be back. I don't know what Coach Lee thinks about it, but I actually like this format better. instead of having to play against each other during the season and having almost like a open schedule, and then at the end of the season having everyone seated like this. I actually think this is a little bit better. I'm sure we'll have discussions about that later on, but I don't know. I think that depending on scenarios and teams and stuff, like someone like St. Peter's, plays such a demanding schedule, and sometimes it's hard to play different teams all the time. So, I don't know. I do like having some kind of an event like this to showcase our talent, to showcase our teams, because we have a lot here, and a lot of kids go unnoticed if it's not for places like Nobody Cares Sports and Staten Advance and things like that promote our players.
Danny, what do you think about the seating? You like it this year?
Well, we in the coaches' meetings, we were trying to figure out the best way because, as Coach was saying, in the past, before COVID, we had a North and a South division. So, some of the Catholic schools didn't play the publics every year, but now with St. Peter's playing a AA schedule, it's very hard. It's very hard for them to play 8 public school games. It just is. So this is the format the coaches voted on, and overwhelmingly this was the one that won. There were a couple other formats, as like all the publics play, all the Catholics play, and then we have a Metro Bowl at the end. It's tough. It's a tough way to decide. I also want to shout out Coach Nick Lazzoli from Petrides, who's on the floor right now, and for how allowing us, and Steve Lyman, the AD at Petrides, for allowing us to have it here, which is huge.
Gentlemen, you guys are absolutely fantastic. I can't tell you enough that we don't have the money in the budget to pay you guys for being here today, right? But
this is a priceless experience, man.
We're gonna take a short break. We're gonna be back with second half action for everybody out there that's locked in and tuned in. If you like what we're doing, man, we got a GoFundMe in the link. Click it, donate. I don't know. We're trying to keep this thing going for the community so we can keep broadcasting for absolutely free. Nobody cares, though. I appreciate you, too. Second half action, Wagner, and more when we come back. Let's get it. Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Second half action from the Staten Island High School League basketball tournament about to be underway. It's the Wagner Falcons with a commanding 55-33 lead over the Moore Catholic Mavericks. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Danny Chanod from Nobody Cares Sports. Joining me in the broadcast booth this afternoon is my very good friends, Doug Elwell and Danny Lee. Coach, what do you guys make? You ready for the second half or what?
Oh, I can't wait.
I want to hear you fired up.
I'm always fired up. Coach Burns, I wish I heard Coach Burns' speech at halftime, like I said, but Moore's going to come out. The first 4 minutes, I always say to my team, the first 4 minutes of the third quarter decides the game. Whether it's close, whether you're down, whether you're up big, how is Wagner going to hold the lead? Is Moore going to come out and try to cut into the lead? So to me, the first 4 minutes are going to be huge here.
First thing I noticed when Moore came on the court, Cosmo was clapping, getting guys ready. So I think we're going to see a little bit of a relaxed version of Moore here with nothing to lose.
And they came out man-to-man here.
Yep. Turn around. There you go.
Nice move there by Campos, just missed the layup. Good stop for Moore. And here they come. Here comes Carmelinga to set up the offense.
Wow, and a beautiful steal here going coast to coast.
I don't know if the Wagner assistant coaches chart deflections, but if they do, Campos has got to lead the league in it.
Yeah. Beautiful extra pass in the paint.
I saw him the 2 times we played him this year. He had his hand in the passing lane almost every time.
Careful.
Good drive there. 22 still like it was coming out of halftime, but like you said, Coach, they can't trade buckets.
Right.
They got to get back-to-back stops and back-to-back buckets for it to really, start to become a game.
Well, inbounding underneath their own baseline.
Comes a shooter back to the
Coming
corner.
back to shooter.
Good pass to the corner. A three is Cash from downtown.
It's his second of the game,
Yeah.
Petrides.
Oh,
Watch out.
Pajinkovic?
yeah, Dean Pajinkovic.
All right.
So he made one in that corner right.
Just want to make sure we give him his due because he banged that from downtown.
I can help with the Italian names, Coach. That's about it.
All right, I got you.
The Irish ones are good for me. Like
The
O'Neal,
Cangianos and the
McNeil.
Camalengos, I could do all day.
Well, that's about 80% of the roster, so we're good. Back to the action on the court. Mavericks with it now. And a little bit too overzealous on defense as a foul's going to be called against Lewison.
And it's interesting because Wagner saw that happening because the second that he started reaching, they all yelled, "Don't reach."
The whole bench.
The whole bench
Coach
yelled, "Don't
Kasha,
reach."
Coach Lanigan,
They know
Coach
exactly.
Eisenhart, Coach Richie Costello, all the guys they got here on their bench.
They know exactly what's happening.
Back to the action on the court. Wagner staying back on defense, not looking very tenacious here to start the second half.
Good job by Matty.
Good passing
gotta
here,
be
trying to
aggressive.
find the
Yeah,
open
he's
man.
gotta
Yeah, a
attack.
little bit too timid there in the paint for big man.
He's got to attack, Babu.
Brings it all the way out. Now he gives it to the guard that says, let me handle that for you, big fella. Crossover here, making his way into the lane, and it's no good.
It's a good take by Cosmo, though. That's what they got to do. They get to the rim.
Barrow looking to do it all himself, going the other way. He's fouled, and he'll head to the line to shoot 2.
Very nice burst by Barrow. One of the big positives of his game, he catches the ball in transition and goes.
One thing I know. Sorry, Dan. One thing I noticed about 2 coaches as well. Like when these 3 guys are reffing this game, there's not much arguments going on. They know that their players are doing what they're doing, and they trust the calls that are being made. Either side just now, like I said, the Wagner bench knew that Lewison was reaching, and Coach Burns didn't say a word on the follow through on the block. So, this is just a well-coached game, both sides, even though the score may not dictate it at this moment right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Back to the action on a court. A 3 from downtown is money from Cosmo. 62-35.
They were able to break the pressure to 2-2-1 and get Cosmo for a quick open 3. Nice move by Barrow.
Oh, my goodness. My man's been here before.
Great take.
Breaking the press and getting it across the timeline is the Mavericks now in the corner. thought about a three, now decides to go into the paint to get the easy money. Why he hasn't been doing that all game, I have no idea.
I'm not sure either, Dan, to be honest with you. He's a junior, so maybe this is the first time, again, playing an event like this. But, you know, if I'm down by 25 right now, I see red right now. I gotta get to the rim. I gotta do whatever I gotta do to get back into this game right now. I'm not seeing that from him every possession. So I would love to see more of that, what he just did just now.
I mean, Vikai is a big, big dude, and he can have a massive presence in this game if he plays with a bit more confidence. A beautiful spin move that time in the paint from Jackson puts 2 points on the board for the Falcons.
Great cut by Jackson. Great find.
Yeah, I was going to say, great pass. Another great pass.
Oh, second chance opportunity. Cosmo can't get either of them to go. Wagner looking to push quickly the other way. Barrow, stutter step, kick to the corner. A three, cash! Isaiah Campos, the senior.
And in the blink of an eye, Wagner can just put points up like no other.
When you think you've got a little bit momentum and then all of a sudden it just gets taken away. Now look at this. Barrow waiting on the other end. Oh, it won't go.
You know, I was talking to Coach Kasha before the game, and obviously we saw them twice during the year. We actually played them pretty tough. We sat in the zone most of the time, but this court, I told him, is actually going to help him. You know, it helps him much more because you're in the old college of Staten Island, you're on an NBA-sized court. With their speed and athleticism, it's very, very hard to compete with them on this court.
They get the ball out real fast. Guys are waiting at half court almost for the ball already. Nice shot.
There's a three from downtown is cash from Carmelango. Timeout called on the court by Kasha. Looks like he wants to talk it over.
You know, I think he just wants to get set into the defense. They gave Carmelango an open three. He's yelling shooter. The only way for Moore to get back into the game is they got to probably make about 8 threes in this half.
Yeah.
So if you're going to leave their guys open, Coach Kasha was not happy with that, and a good timeout. Coach, when we have the time, we want to thank the Warren Jakes committee, who's here, spearheaded by Coach Tim Gannon, a legendary coach of Curtis High School. He'll be on the call of the next game, MSIT versus St. Peter's. We got Mike McHugh also in the building, part of the Jakes committee. They do a great job. Last year, the last 2 years, it was very tough to pick a Jakes winner. Actually, 2 years ago, they didn't pick one during the COVID year because public schools really didn't have a season. Last year, the publics and Catholics didn't play. We didn't have a tournament. And then, the winner was from Messiah Gilead from MSIT, who was great players playing down in junior college right now in Texas. But they do a great job supporting Staten Island High School League basketball. And Coach, I know you didn't win the Jakes. It was tough. You had Kyle Mack on you 2 years.
Yeah, I got screwed.
But in most years, you would have won.
Yeah,
right on the air. True confessions
I'm gonna
in
be
the
honest
third quarter.
Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. My sophomore, junior, and senior year, I could have had a chance to win it. And sophomore year, Lawrence Bora won it, who went and played at Utah and played overseas for 9 years. Then junior and senior year, my good friend Kyle Macklin, he decided to average 35 a game and go to University of Notre Dame. So
and there you go.
What are you going to do?
And here we are just working out our frustrations of life with 4 minutes to go here in the third quarter.
I would have won it now.
So in 75 years of the Jakes, you picked the 3 years. With,
listen,
the guys averaging 35 points a game.
And I'll tell you what, I would have never picked a different era to play in because I feel like everyone has their eras. I felt like 2005 class, one of the best classes to ever play in Staten Island, so I would never trade that for anything.
Well, the Mavericks trying to make a little history for themselves here as a good behind-the-back move, making his way into the paint. Second chance, tips it in himself.
See, I'm seeing that aggression from Cosmo, Coach. I'm not seeing it from Zakai, and that's why I'm a little ticked off by that.
And I'm very impressed by Cosmo's athleticism.
Yeah.
He's got a quick second jump. He's springy to the rim. He's been at the rim all game.
Lewis in with it now, gives it to Barrow, who sets up the offense. Calls out a play, tells the boys to take their time, feeds it now into the big man with his back to the basket, throws a pass into the corner for a three, won't go.
So even
Guess who's there to clean it up? Call that man the X Factor. He done been here before, the senior. He's got his 1000th point of his career in the first quarter, and you thought maybe you'd take his foot off the gas after that, get that milestone chipped off. He's just been going full throttle all day.
Dan, there's a reason why you got 1,000 points that quickly, right?
And missing his sophomore season, too, because of COVID. Dan, and just another thing, I was just thinking of Barrow when he's going to the line. Credit to you and Nobody Cares Sports, because I don't know what the recruitment is for any of these guys, but the fact that they're going to be able to, like even a kid like Cosmo, who I've never really seen play. If I'm a college coach, I'm looking at his athleticism, the way he shoots the basketball. I think he's a college prospect. 100%. I don't know on which level, but Coach, you would probably know.
Oh,
a
he
little
could
bit
definitely play after high school
100%.
is what we're seeing.
Cosmo will be a really, really, really good Division III player, 100%.
But just this broadcast alone, you could be a college coach somewhere, watching this now live, and you're looking at a kid you might not even know he existed, and now you're saying to yourself, well, I'm going to reach out to Coach Burns and give him a chance. And that's what it should really all be about. We want all these kids to succeed and then obviously play at the next level if they're capable of.
Right, and I'm also looking at younger guys that I see out here that I'm like, next year I'm going to be interested to see what he looks like, because having this year of experience playing this tournament and having another year of high school basketball, what a difference he would be next year. So someone like Abu or Jackson for Wagner, love to see what they look like next year.
Silky smooth jumper for
juniors,
Christian.
then you got Lewison out there who's a sophomore. You're right, Coach.
A lot of young talent out here as well as the seniors. So
it was a silky jumper by Trombone. You guys were. I'm just letting people know at home.
Sorry, Dan.
It was suave. No, what? Sorry, you're bringing up the broadcast. Count it in the foul. Says Deuces Wild. That's what I like to call him because I can't say his last name. Dean Pajenkovic.
Yeah, I'm also pretty sure, to piggyback on what we were talking about before, I'm sure that both of these teams, their JV teams, are pretty well off as well. More, especially, I think they beat Farrell in the beginning of the year, if I'm not mistaken. So, Moore is going to have a nice little group coming up as well. So, Nick DeGrotto is a freshman on their JV team. It's a really, really good player that they're going to have for the next few years. So, the future's bright here, even though this game may not seem it. But
and both those schools will match up tomorrow in the quarterfinal. Wagner versus Moore.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's Coach Lanigan versus Coach Burns, Todd Burns in the JV game. So that'll be exciting too.
That's gonna be fun.
Now Carmelango with it now, working. Lewison on him.
Ooh,
the give to Cosmo. The spin gains access to the paint. Oh, doctor!
Phenomenal move. By Cosmo.
Kidding me?
Yep.
And
he
to
can
finish
play,
with the left hand, he could really play.
He could
Very
play.
impressed.
There's a reason why he's averaging that many points, but at the same time, I'm just a little upset that his teammates didn't follow suit today. Matty Camerlengo stepped up. He got into a little foul trouble early, but some of his other teammates here didn't show up today.
Jackson again. On the offensive glass. I didn't chart how many, but
he's
got to be
just done his job in the
7.
paint all night. He's not one of these bigs that thinks he's going to go outside and get. He knows exactly what his role is, and he's played a big role in Wagner's success today.
And honestly, for good hustle. For Wagner playing the competition they've played this year in the AA and beyond, this gets them prepared for teams like Moore, where the size is not there, and when Wagner plays off of the island, their size isn't there. So this is a big difference for Wagner playing teams like this, where they don't have to worry about their size being a problem, but it's the other way around, where the team that they're playing against has a problem with it instead.
Oh, beautiful crossover here. Excellent pass to the corner. Big man hanging out up top, only to set a high screen. Kick for a 3, in and out of the basket. Moore with the rebound, 55 seconds to go, third quarter.
Nice rebound there by David Hill, who gave good minutes for Coach Burns early in the first half, too.
Looks like a football player. It's got to be.
Z fires a shot off the mark. Offensive board this time from Hill.
Nice
keeps
pass.
alive.
Good pass.
Excellent pass is right. Fouled as he attempted the shot is John Moley. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. 40 seconds to go here.
And Coach, I was talking to Coach Kasha before the game. They took their first loss, Staten Island loss, in 2 years to Curtis last week. And sometimes that's a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
They had won 26, 27 PSAL games in a row against Island competition, and they didn't shoot the ball well the other last week against Curtis at Curtis. Curtis has really good size. We're going to see them in the 3 o'clock game versus St. Joseph by the Sea. But it could have woke Wagner up.
Right. And I think Coach, he's one of the best that we've had here on the island. So, he probably got back into the lab, worked on things that they saw that they did not do well in that game. They probably watched film, broke it down to show the guys what's going on, and made some major adjustments this week, because they look phenomenal. They look very, very good. I've seen some good teams this year between the AA and the single A, and they look very, very good compared to those teams.
Strong move off the glass by Barrow. Won't go, and an offensive foul called on the rebound attempt will go against Jackson.
One thing I do like about Jackson and even Petrides and
I guess they said it was
Petrides.
against Petrides.
Well, no, there's like 3 of them. So 15 is Perovic, and then 22 is Petrides. So those 3 guys, they're doing a really good job screening as well. They're set on every one of their screens. They're rolling hard. And I think that's why they are getting a lot of buckets down low as well. They're always in the right spots.
Here's a 3 from way downtown. The tip-in won't go. Barrow comes up with the board under 10 seconds to go. The tip pass is retrieved under the paint. Jackson puts a man in the air. Counted in the foul.
Great push by Barrow. Kick ahead to Devin, to Matos, and he had a really nice baseline pass. Jackson with an N1 opportunity. Now Barrow checks out. He'll get his 3.5 second rest, and then in between the 3rd and 4th period before he comes back in.
Free throw is off the mark. Rebounded by the Mavericks. Long cross-court pass, and that brings us to the end of the 3rd quarter of play. The score is the Wagner Falcons 79 and the Moore Mavericks 51. Gentlemen, you still having fun?
Always, Dan. I mean, you can't have any more fun than this tournament. This tournament is all about fun. It's all about the kids. It's all about the schools, the programs. And give Wagner credit, because I said the first 4 minutes will decide the game, and Wagner answered. Moore had a couple shots. They hit a corner 3, and Wagner answered every single time that Moore scored. So you got to give Coach Koshner and his troops credit for that 3rd quarter.
Wagner's fast start is why they're up by 28 right now. If it wasn't for that very, very fast start in the 1st quarter, Moore's kind of played them, I think, pretty even throughout, but it's hard to claw back into a game like this when...
I want to point something out. Doug has poly on by the layers. Because he took off a hoodie, and he still got a poly shirt. Like, my clothes get far less expensive as I layer off. It's like, oh, no, that's a wife beater.
They're in rotation. They're in rotation, Dan.
Look good today, guys. You guys are doing a fantastic job.
I did realize, Dan, that when I got to Poly, there's a big difference between working in the DOE and working at Poly in terms of swag. A lot of difference.
I can't hate it on him, Dan. My brother, my younger brother Timmy, was the football captain there. Graduated in 2007, so I can't.
Awesome.
I got to give Polly a little bit of love, even though it's a Staten Island tournament.
Hey, we're not from here, so it's okay.
Yeah. All right. I like it. Deep 3 from Cosmo. What it is. Cash.
Very nice job by Cosmo knocking it down. He's not, I'll tell you what, one thing Dan was mentioning before about the college coaches watching, I'm seeing a kid that's not giving up either. He's playing as hard as he can the entire time and worried about maybe winning the game, getting back into the game.
Another steal there.
A banger here.
Let's see if he goes for the extra pass. He doesn't, and it's a blocking foul, so he will head to the line to shoot 2. You like that move, boys?
I like it a lot, and Coach, obviously, doing a lot of workouts that you do and skill training with student athletes. He got to the rim, and I really do like that left-hand finish on the right side. It's something that if you're a guard and he's not an undersized guard on Staten Island, but he'll be an undersized guard, say, in college.
Yes.
You got to be able to utilize that left-hand finish on the right side.
And he did it properly, where he turned his body and didn't go up to the basket, taking a left-hand layup on the right side. He shielded his body, used his shoulder to shield. And as we say that, Kasha goes back to his starters.
Yeah.
Because the second that they score, he's getting nervous.
Well, you're going to see 7 minutes or 30 seconds of Coach Burns' team giving everything they
100%.
Possibly have right here to try to get back in the game.
Here comes the press. And that's why I think he's made a couple of subs here. John Moley in there, who played in the end of the third quarter.
Count it, and the foul. My goodness.
Nice play.
Yeah, Lewison doesn't care at all.
No, they play hard too, man.
Like it's usually you need 3 all-stars on a team in the starting lineup of 5 to make a championship run, and with this Wagner Falcons team, it's more than their starting 5. They're really stacked. I feel that they're a complete team. They have a great bench and a good starting 5 out there.
I think that they complement each other very well too. I think the three-headed monster, the guards here, are very good players. Each give a little bit of something different. And then the bigs do their job, do a great job in the post.
Yep. And Jackson offensive rebounding. Dean's Dean's made 2 corner 3s today.
Yeah.
So if he's going to step out and make 3s too, then it's really. And as Coach knows, the CHSA guards are always tough.
Yep.
They're going to play defense, as we're going to see from Peters and and Farrell later on today. So any matchup that Wagner gets, I like them with their 3-guard rotation. They have 3 guys on the floor at all times that could really handle the basketball. Like Campos has it now at the point.
Woo! What a pass into the paint! Oh, the basket doesn't go.
They're very deliberate of their sets. They run things that coach draws up perfectly. Coach been running the same stuff for years, and it still works. There's a reason why. The personnel changes, but the teaching and the importance of the skills that he's teaching stay the same all the time. So it's always good.
Well, 1 of 2 from the line goes. Friendly.
It's good to see Jackson looks like he's back completely healthy. He battled the flu early in the season, then he battled an ankle injury. I see he still has the ankle brace on, but he looks really good today.
Yeah, he's bouncy, moving around a little bit better, it looks like, so good for him.
Well, Wagner back to pressing, despite being up 83-56.
Yeah,
Got to keep it tight.
And then also, too, Dan, what you're looking for now, these are the last games you're going to be playing before the city playoffs, so coach is probably trying to keep guys moved by Xavier.
Oh, my heavens. Number 5.
He's probably trying to keep things fresh for them, making sure that they're using these as scrimmages kind of at the end of the game here. If there's going to be a blowout, that they can work on their stuff that they need to work on,
Here's a deep 3 from downtown. Won't go. Second chance opportunity. Ryan Oros is fouled. Or Orzo. What do you got?
Orzos.
Thank you.
We're going Orzos.
All right.
We'll pay.
You say it's Orzos, right? Well, what does it say on the sheet in front of you?
Doesn't matter.
No, see, nobody cares. Right.
You're sending that fruit basket, then you better pay for it.
Yep.
Bro, I am in debt because of all these egregious errors I make with names.
And the other thing is with just a couple things with the pressure. They're 2-2-1, so in a way you want the clock to run, time and possession. So even if you're not trapping, Moore's taking 10 to 12 seconds to get into offense. You don't want them coming down and shooting quick threes.
Yeah.
They make 3 or 4 quick threes. All of a sudden, 18-point game. So I understand it. And also, to Coach's point, you're going to be playing St. Peter's or McKee on Wednesday night.
Yeah.
That's the matchup they're going to get.
That's a big difference.
That's a big difference with the athleticism and the speed you're going to see with those 2 teams.
I love that you guys know what you're talking about.
Says who?
I swear, though, it's a huge.
See what the reviews come back like,
85-57 is our score. The Mavs in an all-out press, trying desperately to stay in the ball game, looking for a miraculous comeback, and I won't count them out just yet.
And to also, on the other side of this, Moore is going to be playing in their city playoffs too. So this is another way for them to get better, to improve on things, maybe to work on some things they want to put in, or try to compete still. It's a big difference out there.
Oh, with the right hand, hooks, little scoop shot.
And Coach, as you know, I know Poly Prep, you're number 1 in the state in the B, right?
Yes, sir.
Moore's having a really good year in the B division in
exactly.
CHSAA. I think they have a good chance to win that division.
Right, and we could see them in the Federation Championship, which is awesome.
That kid
move,
just
Matt.
ate both defenders at half court and then later runner in. I'm just throwing it up there.
Great move. Another good move
I
by
mean, just
McKay.
look at Wagner. So they
Big
give up
man.
a basket, and they get a basket within 4 seconds on the other end.
Big man.
Running the floor.
Looking super smooth, like a ship sailing on the ocean. I can't even speak anymore. 5:29 to go here in the fourth quarter. Danny Lee, Doug Elwell joining me. Danny Chanod on the call. Nobody Cares Sports. We're out here at the Petrides Sports Complex in Staten Island. It is the start, game 1 of 4 today of the Staten Island High School League basketball tournament. What a day. Carmelengo to the line.
So up next we have 1 o'clock. We have MSIT, who's the PSCL 3, against St. Peter's, who's the CHSAA 2.
Love it. That's a big game.
Actually, Poly played both of those teams this year, so that's going to be a good game between those two. Oh, wow.
Oh, what a move with his back to the basket. Kasha calls timeout afterwards. Absolutely beautiful stuff. Now, this Wagner team, we talk about Barrow earlier with his 1,000 points, and we've been mentioning Jackson's name all night because of what he does in the paint. But really, that 1-2 punch with Lewison running the point, I think is good enough to play with anybody in this tournament.
Yeah, anybody in the tournament. Last year they were the number 2 seed in the city, in the PSAL city playoffs. They got knocked off in the quarterfinals by John Bound. I think they'll be a top 5 seed again. Most of the rankings that I looked them at have them anywhere from between 3 and 5. Eagle in the Bronx and Eagle in Brooklyn are the top 2 teams right now in the city on the PSAL side.
Yeah.
But listen, with those guards, and if Jackson's going to play like he's playing today, and Dean is going to make corner threes, they can play with anybody. I know those Eagle teams both have size, athleticism. But if Susan Wagner's going to score 91 points with 5 minutes to go in a high school game, I don't care who you play.
Yeah, and Moore's not like laying down here either. They're playing hard. They're doing their thing. I think
there was a play-in game to get to this day, so it wasn't like they just showed up. They had to win to get here.
And they put up 69 points the other day.
Yeah, against a tough Port Richmond team.
So Wagner's doing a great job. Great job.
Bringing it across the timeline here is
so
Trombone.
I feel like this is what they've been trying to work on in this game, the zone a little bit. Every time they go to the zone, they seem to give up a 3, and Coach gets a little ticked off about it. So I think that this is one of the things they're trying to implement for the city playoffs, it looks like, to kind of give a different look to some of the teams that they've been playing against throughout the year. And, compared to Moore,
the 3 from the corner is good from Isaiah Campos, the senior.
Compared to Moore, a lot of the city teams are way more athletic and way bigger. So, some of these games, like with Jackson being undersized, they may need to play a little zone for him to get better positioning, rebounding-wise and stuff like that. So this could be something they're trying to implement moving forward.
Oh, the beautiful
great move.
Turnaround jumper from Cosmo is cash.
And to your point, Coach, something that you might even see in this tournament. If they match up with a Curtis who has 6'6", 6'5", 6'9" across the board. St. Joseph by the Sea has Graziano, who's 6'6". I mean, there's some Quadir Martin on
Peters.
On Peters 6'6". So they're gonna see some size moving forward in this tournament, regardless of who they play.
Yep.
Well, finally seeing no second chance opportunities on offense for the first time in a long time.
Cosmos can score the ball, huh?
Yeah, I mean, he's just a pure scorer, and look at him. He gets the right
fighting for the
spots.
rebound here.
Always around the ball.
Good outlet pass all the way up and in. Campos putting his name more and more into the stat column as this game closes down.
And Coach Kasha's going to go to his bench here. It looks like he's going to clear it out with about 3:30 to go.
3 from the corner is no good from Cangiano. Out the other way, a 3, left side goes for Campos. Back-to-back baskets. He's got the hot hand. Timeout on the floor.
But we're talking about size. We're going to see a lot of good shooting in this tournament as well. Campos is one of the leaders in three-point shots made on the season. We're going to see Chris Bonner from MSIT, who shoots the ball really well. Stephen Bradley from St. Peter's in the next game shoots the ball really well. Coach is just a quick timeout for subs. Nothing to really talk about, just get guys in the game, especially the guys that work hard every single day, maybe don't get into the action, and they're on the floor now.
Well, we approach the 3-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. First game of 4 on the day. A beautiful day for playoff basketball here at Staten Island. Mavericks with it. Cross-court pass up top. The 3 won't go. New faces on the court here.
Number 12, Marco Krupi for Wagner, has entered the game.
Matos with it now for the Falcons. He the point guard. Working around a high screen. He gives it up to Cugno. And the ball tipped away here from Carmelengo.
Carmelengo's still out there competing. You got to love it.
And a good pass into the paint. Won't go. And it'll stay Wagner basketball. So a good shot opportunity from Kruppy. Just got to go up a little bit stronger to get that basketball in. 99-61, ball tipped out of bounds here. No quitting these Mavs. Orzos, I'm not going to sleep tonight. You're like, honey, what's wrong? Don't touch me.
Go ask his family.
So many names.
Go ask his family after the game how he pronounces it.
Messed up so many names.
Krupi working hard in there. You got a couple.
Oh my heaven! He's banging against 4 guys. It's going to be a jump ball. But Bakai, what a name! He's a junior. We'll see him again next year.
Yeah, I want that game next year, Dan. I want to see what he looks like next year compared to this year.
If we're still in business, you can all come back and broadcast, all right?
Oh, we'll be in business.
All right. You say so, brother. Back to the action on the court.
Defense.
Deep three from the right wing won't go. Good second chance and third chance opportunity goes. Deuces Wild gets the bucket.
Is there any kind of giveaway when the team gets 100 here?
We got to talk to Coach Charlie Donnie to see what the 100-point giveaway is.
Chick-fil-A or something? Everyone?
You know what? I would do a lot for a Chick-fil-A sandwich
now. I saw that. I was at the Knick game last night. I was not at the Knick game. I saw the Knick game last night on
there
TV.
You go. Well, I like what you said the first time.
Definitely. I was in Philly. I wasn't there. But Emmanuel quickly missed a foul shot in the fourth quarter, and the fans went nuts because if he missed the second one, everyone in the stands got a free Chick-fil-A sandwich after the game.
Oh, wow.
If he misses 2 foul shots in the fourth quarter consecutively in the
how do you not just take an L for the fans in that situation?
I mean, what was about 18,000?
I know you got to be a professional. I know you have to be a professional.
Just buy every fan that entered the building Chick-fil-A. Come on, quickly, where are you?
Yeah, like what are you doing? Right, you can get those 2 points anywhere else.
Right.
Well, to the players on the court here today, first game of the Staten Island High School League playoff tournament, live from Petrides High School. I'm Danny Chanod. Joining me, Doug Elwell, Danny Lee. First time you guys have been on a broadcast together. You've done a phenomenal job, boys.
Thank you. We appreciate it, Dan. Thank you for having us.
No, man, it's been fantastic. Under 2 minutes to go here. Wagner is going to be the winner in this ball game, but the Mavericks did a heck of a job playing. No quitting them.
And Dan, I just want to throw in here that, between myself and Coach Lee, we've coached a lot of years, obviously, together and, all that stuff. But any coach that's watching this game right now, just so you know that both those timeouts that were just taken just now, both coaches are still coaching their teams. Okay, it's 101 to 61. Coach Burns is coaching the game like it's the first quarter. Coach Kosh is coaching the game like it's the first quarter. No one out here is hanging out, relaxing, joking around. For any of the COL coaches out there, AU coaches out there, take the game seriously, man, no matter what level you're at.
Oh, what a move! This shot won't go. Mavericks come up with the board. Quickly looking to move the other way. Wild pass across the court. Nobody home to find it. Out the other direction. Up and in.
What a move by Matos.
Oh, they are just not stopping.
The energy's still in the gym, too. It's a lot of good energy here, even though it's a little bit of a blowout.
Keeping me going. Here's a deep three from downtown. In and out of the hoop like a carnival rim. Not sure what that's about. Now another kick out. Moore looking to... All the players just trying to get in the stack column. Let's get it. Another three from downtown.
Good hustle. Good hustle.
Is that Hill again?
Yep.
Yeah. He's got to have close to double-digit rebounds. He's been all over the backboards offensively and defensively. And he didn't play many minutes, but he's been a factor. You got to give him credit when he's been out there.
Hey, we want to tell everybody to stick around after the game. We're going to have post-game interviews with our star of the game, Xavier Barrow from the Wagner Falcons. Also joining us for a second will be head coach Joe Kasha, so don't go anywhere.
That's exciting, Dan.
I know.
I'm excited about that as well.
Trying to do, something. Trying to work a little bit here. 40 seconds to go. And the Wagner Falcons fans in attendance start to make a lot of noise. Boy, this gym is just going wild right now.
Especially for the 11 a.m. tip.
It's crazy. Tension's palpable. Cut it with a knife as we encounter our fifth jump ball of the game.
Shout out to Woodrow Plaza because I had a bagel on the way over here. Egg bagel with cream cheese.
Don't be talking about food on my broadcast. Yeah, support local businesses, right. Support them so much. I get a delivery here right now. Beautiful feed into the paint. Number 33, David Hill with the bucket.
Gets himself in the stat sheet. Good job by Hill. Played tough all game.
Love to see it. As the Falcons will dribble it down. I don't know what happened over there, but this scoreboard's still on by a score of 103 to 63. The Falcons soar in a 50-point victory over the Moore Catholic Mavericks. Gentlemen, give me your final thoughts on this game.
Just super impressed with Wagner. Obviously we played them twice during the season. I've seen them so many times over the last couple of years. This is their moment. They've been waiting for this moment, since we haven't had the Staten Island High School League tournament, and they came out and Coach Kasha had his guys ready to go right from the door, 35 points in the first quarter, and pretty much kind of put it away early. So I was very impressed with him. Coach Burns, as Coach and I said, he's the best in the business. So his team will be back. They'll bounce back for the CHSA playoffs and look forward to them in the city playoffs in the B division.
Yeah, I agree with Coach Lee, exactly what he said. Great game from both teams. Really impressed with the way Wagner played. And then more so with the way that Moore did not stop playing. I think it's pretty important too that we give them a shout out because it's very easy for a team to just stop playing and not be into the game. And they continue to do exactly that. With especially Cosmo Cangiano, shout out him. A lot of big buckets from him towards the end of the game.
Great stuff. Great comments from our two color commentators. Right now, we've got the star of the game in the booth for Game 1. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Mr. 1,000-point scorer Xavier Barrow in the booth. Congratulations on a dub, brother. Talking to that microphone, it was a heck of a game for you, man.
Yeah, it was. My teammates, from last year, they always pressure me and they always wanted me to go at it, It was a great game. Moore's really good. We just want to go to the next step. 1,000 points is just 1,000 points. I just want to win, get this championship my last year. I just want to win. So really much.
Well, you had a full tank of steam. We were talking all game from start to finish. You never seemed to take your foot off the gas. We also talked about this being the return of the Staten Island High School League tournament. Tell us your emotions playing in this tournament for the first time.
I know. I mean, it was freshman year until last time I played. I lost in the semis. I was back at it because of COVID, but, I'm here to be here, happy to be here, all the fans, everything. I just want to win, and then it's pretty much it, really.
Hey, man, we're looking forward to seeing you play on Wednesday. Boys, you got any questions for him?
Yeah, I just want to ask him, X, when you guys were preparing for more, was there anything that you really, focused on to get to this point, or did you kind of just do your normal routine, your normal stuff?
I know. Our coach, Mike Stats, we watch film. Yep. We watch their best players, just their plays and just what we have to do, trail, anything like that. And then we just focus on those specific plays and those players, and then just got to watch them. And then we did it on the court, and then that's what we did.
Awesome.
X, congratulations, man, on a great 1,000 points and a great career so far. Obviously, with the tournament returning, you haven't played St. Peter's. You played McKee twice during the year. Yeah. So, what are you looking forward to watching this game because you'll play the winner of this game on Wednesday?
Yeah, I'm watching this. It's great two teams, right? I played McKee twice. Peters, Jalen, Kadir. We have to watch the good players that's on that team. I'm going to watch them, film, just like coach. We're going to go right back to practice, going to work, and then right back at them on Wednesday.
Yeah, Xavier, I'm going to keep it 100% real with you. You got a 1,000-point ball in your hands, right?
Yeah.
You're a 1,000-point scorer?
Yes.
Did you get that ball?
I did not. That's a fancy ball.
Can you do us a favor? Can you hold that ball up to that camera right there and show everybody at home what you got?
Yeah, I got this. Just my teammates, not just me. They got it from me. So
shout out to Coach Kasha, always taking care of his guys, man.
Great job, man. Congratulations,
awesome job,
and best of luck on the rest of the tournament.
Thank you.
All right, man. That's Xavier Barrow. He's our player of the game here in game number 1. Doug Elwell and Danny Lee did a great job on the call, man. Great job on the call. We got Game 2 action coming up in just a little bit. It's going to be St. Peter's against McKee Staten Island Tech, and we're hyped about it and excited to be here. Hi, Danny, Chanod. Man, you guys did such a good job. It's going to be hard for this next crew to do a better job than you.
I doubt it.
Well, we got Coach Gannon, the legendary Curtis coach, coming on. I mean, he's seen it all, so he'll have all the stories for us.
I was going to say, if you let Coach Gannon have a microphone in front of him for 20 minutes, you're going to have all of Staten Island legendary basketball being taught. So he doesn't have to care about the game. Just let him talk.
Hey, man, you keep this locked all day. We are here at Petrides High School. 3 more games. It's McKee versus St. Peter's. When we come back, it's a 1 o'clock start. Does anybody care, gentlemen?
Nobody cares.
Nobody
That's
cares.
right. Great job. See you guys at 2.